Facebook.com/DZRJ810AM or on YouTube, channel DZRJ810AM, Radio Bandido.
The views and comments of the hosts and guests are not necessarily those of the station.
This is a Radio Bandido TV special coverage, courtesy of the Senate.
Nang may pakumbaba, batid namin na ang karunungan ng tao ay may hangganan. Ngunit ang iyong katotohanan at katarungan ay nanatili magpakailanman. Sa pagtupad namin ng aming tungkulin bilang mga senator judges, hinihiling namin ang iyong gabay sa lahat ng aming gagawin. Pagkalooban mo, nawa kami ng tapat na puso at malinaw na pag-iisip sa buong panahon ng paglilitis na ito. Panginoon, nakikiusap po kami, nakain niyo kami sa landas na makatarungan, na may patas na pagtingin sa karapatan ng bawat isa. Dalhin niyo kami sa liwanag pagkat nakapiring ang aming mga mata. Hindi man po namin hiningi, ngunit ipinagkatiwala sa aming konstitusyon ang timbangan ng katarungan. Kumiling nawa ito sa karapat-dapat na pagkalooban nito. Nawa ang inyong salita ang maging gabay sa aming paglilingkod at pagdala sa amin sa katotohanan. Kagaya po ng winika sa Leviticus verse 15, do not pervert justice, do not show partiality, but judge your neighbor fairly. Lagi po naman tatandaan ang tagubilin niyong ito. Ama, anuman ang maging bunga ng paglilitis na ito, hindi nawa ito makita bilang tagumpay ng isa at pagkatalo ng iba, kundi para sa ikabubuti ng sambayanang Pilipino. Lahat po ng aming gagawin ay para sa ikalulugod mo at hindi para sa kapakinabangan ng sino bang tao, mga partido o kanilang mga pansariling interes, kundi ito'y para sa pagpapatibay ng aming mga institusyon, ng pamahalaan at sa pagpapanatili ng tiwala ng mamamayan sa demokrasya ng aming bayan. Buong puso po naming nananalangin na sa lahat ng aming gagawin, lagit-lagi namin kayong pinupurihan. Amen.
Amen. The clerk of court will now call the roll.
Roll call of members. Senator Judge Aquino. Senator Judge Cayetano Alan. Senator Judge Cayetano-Pia. Senator Judge De La Rosa. Senator Judge Ejercito. Senator Judge Estrada. Senator Judge Go. Senator Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Lacson. Senator Judge Lapid. Senator Judge Legarda. Senator Judge Marcoleta. Senator Judge Marcos. Senator Judge Padilla. Senator Judge Pangilinan. Senator Judge Soto III. Senator Judge 𝗬𝗶𝗵𝗹. Senator Judge 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗏. Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge 𝗦𝗵𝗺𝗃. Senator Judge 𝗦𝗵𝗃. Senator Judge Zubiri. The presiding officer, Senator Judge Escudero. The Senate President, Chairman 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗏.
With 17 senators present, the chair declares the presence of the quorum. We note the presence of Senator Judge Bongo. We have 18, and Senator Judge Amy Marcos. We have 19 senators present. We have 18 senators present for the record.
If there are no objections, we dispense with the reading of the July 8, 2026 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and consider the same as approved. The clerk will please call the case before the impeachment court.
Case number 004-2026 in the matter of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
Appearances?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready, Your Honor.
Noted. Appearances for the counsel for the respondent?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the respondent accused.
Noted. Prosecution, call your next witness.
Your Honors, before we
Senator 𝗏𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 is seeking recognition. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏?
Thank you, Presiding Judge Escudero. Short inquiry lang po for the defense, particularly kay Attorney Mark Biduan. Attorney Binuan. During the last hearing, when you delivered a manifestation in reply to the prosecution's statement regarding the fourth article of impeachment, you said, and I quote, "The truth of the matter is this: she and her family were threatened, and while her response was unconventional, it was justified. What triggered her response was a question about Operation Romanov, which is the plot to eliminate VP Sara and her family." End of quote. Now, Attorney Binluan, this Operation Romanov that you mentioned, are you referring to the Operation Romanov mentioned by the blogger Princess Maui during the online press conference of VP Sara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the question was raised during the press con by this Princess Maui, but I did not see her name sa list of defense witnesses in the pre-trial order. So will you be presenting her as your witness?
Your Honor, at this point, it will depend on what will be established by the prosecution. The defense reserve its right to call or not call any witness depending on the course of the trial.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, in other words, will you also be presenting any other witness to prove this threat or this Operation Romanov?
Yes, Your Honor, that will be part of our evidence in chief.
May this court know now kung sino-sino itong mga witnesses na inyo i-present?
Of course, Your Honor. We are not at liberty to disclose that at this time. Again, it will depend on the course of the trial.
Your Honors, Presiding Judge, the first time I've heard about this Romanov is during the Maisog Leaders Forum in Davao City. That was on January 28, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was mentioned by Mayor Baste Duterte. At that time, hindi ko alam anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov at sino mga ito. In fact, ginugil ko yan. Sino tong family Romanov? So napag-alaman ko, apparently, they were the ruling family in Russia that was murdered by the Bolsheviks in the night of July 16, 1918. Malapit-lapit na sa anniversary, 108th anniversary. Kasi ano ba tayo ngayon, July 13. Anyway, may relasyon ba ito sa binanggit ni Baste sa sinabi ni Princess Maui at yung binanggit mo? Magkakarelasyon ba yung tatlo?
Your Honor, I have no personal knowledge of what Mayor Baste said, so I cannot comment on that, Your Honor.
So hindi mo napanood yun? Hindi...
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And last question. What did you mean when you said that BP Sara's response was unconventional?
Your Honor, it was a description, Your Honor, of the statements that she made during that press call.
Kaya nga, why do you consider it, why is it unconventional?
Your Honor, the basic meaning of the word is, it will explain itself, Your Honor.
Okay. That's all, Presiding Judge. And
Noted and entered into the records. Yes, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Defensor, one of the members of the panel of prosecutors? You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honors. Your Honors, before we proceed with the examination of our second witness, Your Honors, the prosecution is in receipt of a letter dated July 10, 2026 from NBI Director 𝗏𝗶𝗹, requesting that his testimony be scheduled or calendared at the earliest setting, considering that the National Bureau of Investigation, Your Honors, has been invited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in coordination with the Royal Thai Police for a regional summit on scam center compounds and transnational organized crime. In that regard, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to request that the scheduled testimony of NBI Director 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 be scheduled tomorrow after the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy A. Lotto.
After the testimony of your second witness.
Yes, Your Honors.
But the supposed witness scheduled for tomorrow is Attorney 𝗧𝗭𝗂𝗏𝗶 per the gentleman's manifestation in the last hearing.
That's correct, Your Honor. After we have dispensed with the testimony of NBI Director 𝗦𝗿𝗶𝗹, we can proceed with the schedule of witnesses as provided in the list to the senator judges last week, Your Honors.
To include Captain 𝗏𝗿, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken?
we can proceed with Attorney Lopez and Captain 𝗏𝗏 as manifested last week, Your Honors.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano, Alan?
Mr. Presiding Officer, if no one objects, I will not object to having Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 yesterday, but maybe as a caution to government officials, my good friend, Congressman Defensor, I read over the weekend that Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 is writing because he is to be in a convention meeting the FBI next week. So actually, we're going to be here 30 weeks. We have put aside many, many important things. We have put aside many foreign trips, many local trips, whether it's to help dun sa tinamaan ng lindol sa Mindanao or tinatamaan ng baha ngayon, because we have to be here 2 o'clock until matapos tayo every Monday to Wednesday, then after the SONA every Tuesday to Wednesday. I find it in bad taste that a bureau head will dictate to us that he's not available next week. I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's why you have undersecretaries. That's why you have deputy directors. So I mean, I admire the patience of the prosecution, no? But even the prosecution, they have a way of timing and laying down the witnesses. So I don't want later on to say na dapat natanong ko muna to sa unang witness, kaya lang si Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 inuna dahil ganito, ganyan. No, so I'd like to put that on the record and ask my colleagues if that's acceptable to us. I mean, yung 20, well, at least those who are not in jail or the 21 of us are here. The whole government nakatutok. We put aside so many important things. And then one witness who is in the government, who is a bureau head, will tell us sorry, but because he has to be with the FBI, siya na yung mauna tomorrow. That might be a bad precedent, Mr. Presiding Officer.
May I be allowed to give a reply, Your
Gentleman
Honor?
will please respond to the point of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
With due respect to the Honorable Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, we will always respect the decision of the Honorable Court. However, we will only be advancing his testimony one day based on the subpoena that we have requested the Honorable Court. He is scheduled to testify until Wednesday, and that we will not disrupt the scheduled list of witnesses. We will simply advance it one day, Your Honor.
With due respect, Congressman, Representative Defensor, I asked that question poignantly last week. If 𝗦𝗍𝗃 will be one of your witnesses for this week, and you said no. In fact, you corrected Attorney Ligutan when he mentioned Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 as one of your witnesses, and instead gave me a list of Lotok, 𝗧𝗭𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏, and Captain 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗦𝗍𝗃 was not included. In fact, I don't think we issued a subpoena for Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 for this week, given your manifestation after you took over, given that you have, as you said, control and supervision over the counsel for the prosecutors. So he's not in your list this week. He's not being advanced for a day, sir.
May I respond, Your Honors?
Please so.
Your
Please
Honors,
do so,
that's
sir.
correct. I gave a list of witnesses scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, Your Honor, to add, I also added that since NBI Director 𝗦𝗍𝗃 has been requested for a subpoena to testify within the week, I also added in my statement that we will inform the Honorable Court which day we can present the Honorable 𝗦𝗍𝗃, and I was expecting him to be presented on one Wednesday after the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honors.
I confirm that, but the situation is, given the one witness per day rule that we supposedly have under the rules of court, no subpoena has yet been issued to Director Matibag to appear this week. Can the clerk of court kindly confirm that for us on the record?
No subpoena has been issued for NBI Director Matibag.
May I
For this
respond?
week,
May I respond, Your Honor?
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Actually, my statement and my question to the court is not really addressed to the prosecution. You will have to do the best you can to represent, what you're fighting for. No, so I commend you for adjusting. But my recollection is because I'm also waiting for his testimony, and my recollection last week he said that we will not see him this week. And I think 11 days, no? 11 days ang
That's correct, Your Honor.
sa article na to. So we're on day 4. So kung hindi siya pwedeng next week, that's day 7, 8, 9. Again, I don't want to dictate sa prosecution or ano, but to suddenly say na tomorrow na siya, when I'm preparing for our oral argument tomorrow and the other witnesses is a little bit, it's a small inconvenience for today. But I hope it doesn't become a rule, especially for a bureau head. I mean, if no one else objects, but if someone objects, I don't think it's really a good rule. Rules are important. I'll have to keep, you say technicalities. No, rules are important. So even yung notice, we agreed on, presiding officer, 3-day ba? 5-day notice.
5 days for witnesses not mentioned in the pretrial order.
And then 3 days kapag
3 days, given the fact that we will be announcing the witnesses for the following
Yes.
week on the last day.
Yeah, anyway, I said my piece, but I hope we will not be able to move faster if we have to accommodate the witnesses, especially if they're in government.
May I add something, Your Honors,
before
we...
the honorable defensor, presiding officer would like to hear from the counsel for the respondents. Attorney Vinlon, what say you?
Yes, Your Honor. We would have to oppose on the basis of the following. Number one, it will be in violation, Your Honor, of the impeachment court's directive that was given last week, insofar as the identities of the witnesses and as well as the order of the presentation. Number two, Your Honor, it will be, again, as mentioned by Senator Judge Cayetano, a violation of the 5-day notice rule. Since while he was subpoenaed the week before, Your Honor, we are learning that he will be presented this week. So the 5-day notice will not be observed. Number three, the prosecution cannot compel also the defense and this impeachment court to present witnesses according to their schedule, considering also that these witnesses have already been identified and determined. Of course, it will be a violation of the basic tenets of fair play, and to join again the manifestation of Senator Judge Cayetano, it will set a bad precedent insofar as surprise witnesses will be allowed at any point at the proceedings. Number 5 would be, it will also violate our right to cross-examine intelligently. We have done our best to prepare for their witnesses. However, these last-minute changes really affect the preparation involved, Your Honor, and insofar as laying down the case that we want to establish. And finally, if there are violations of these preceding rights, there will be a violation of procedural due process, which of course can give way to another ground to further delay the proceedings. Moreover, Your Honor, we would, if the prosecution would also allow, can we also get a copy, Your Honor, of that invitation, and maybe inquire of the prosecution if the particular travel authority has already been made? Because Your Honor, we received information as well that the FBI had already conducted a summit, a regional summit of some sort, but it was conducted in other words, last month, Your Honor, also in Bangkok, Thailand. So we would have to, again, manifest, and we would have to study, Your Honor, the invitation and counter-check and do the proper verification as well, so that If it is indeed viable, then we would understand, Your Honor, why it has to be attended to by Director Matibag, Your Honor.
Senate President 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sinusuportahan ko po yung statement ni Senator Judge Alan Cayetano dahil hindi lang naman po yung counsels ng prosecution at defense na naghahanda, pati mo mga senator judges naghahanda rin. At sa totoo lang ho, itong weekend, marami rin sa ating mga senator judges ay pinag-aaralan kung ano yung kanilang maitatanong sa mga testigong ihaharap po ngayong linggo. Marami po ay pinag-aralan po yung mga ebidensyang in-upload na ho para po sa ating mga senator judges. At hindi ho to konting ebidensya, pinag-uusapan ho natin dito. Libo-libong mga papel at libo-libong mga ebidensya. Kaya kung bigla pong may isisingit na testigo, hindi ho rin makakahanda po yung ating mga senator judges sa kanilang pagtatanong at hindi rin ho nila mababasa yung mga dokumento at ebidensya na nakakabit ho doon sa testigong iharap. Kaya napakahirap naman po na naghahanda ho tayo pero biglang may mga ganitong suppression na hindi ho natin paghahandaan at hindi naman ho yan magiging maayos at patas para po sa ating mga senator judges. Maraming salamat po.
For the record, Chair would like to confirm the statement of the Honorable Defensor. I will quote, Presiding Officer, quote, so Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week. Representative Defensor, not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday. If we can consider him for the Wednesday session, depending on how the trial goes and how long the testimonies will take for both parties. With the permission of Senators, Senator Judge Cayetano and the Senate President, may we defer our ruling on this matter and ask the counsel for the prosecution to submit to us the letter given to you by Director Matibag for us to be able to look at it, copy furnished, of course, the counsel for the respondent, so that we can adequately go over it and hopefully come up with a ruling before the day is over.
We submit,
would
Your
that be
Honor.
possible?
We will submit the letter. The Honorable
Thank you, Your Honor. So we shall do it that way. Kindly furnish a copy to the counsel for the respondents as well for their review.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel for respondent, Attorney Binluen's
Your Honor,
manifestation earlier.
if the travel authority is also available, if we can ask
If
for a
the-
travel authority, if it's already issued.
Yes, of course. Kindly furnish us that as well.
Your Honors, we will submit in good faith whatever the prosecution has received from Director Matibag, Your Honor.
As well as
Kindly communicate with him, if possible, if he already has a travel authority for the same, so that we could evaluate it based on what you have. We
Yes, Your
cannot
Honor.
evaluate it based on what you don't have, so we will presume if you don't have it, it's not yet there.
Your Honor,
Yes,
one last
Attorney
addition. Considering that there's if and when they provide the travel authority, I understand, Your Honor, that one of the requirements is also the official invitation from the foreign body. So if they can also provide that, Your Honor,
Well-
so that we can do a full review of this matter.
Attorney Binluan, it's not really for the full review of the counsel for the prosecution, but rather for this court's evaluation, whether or not to allow the motion of the counsel panel of prosecutors. But everything that will be submitted to us, you will be furnished with a copy.
We will
so that you
submit
can argue your way through this motion before we decide on it. So ordered. Counsel for the panel of prosecutors, kindly call your next witness.
Your Honors, I respectfully request that the counsel for the panel of House Prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized for the presentation of our second witness.
Attorney Ligutan, counsel for the prosecutors, is recognized to present the prosecution's second witness. You may proceed, sir.
Mayong hapon sa atong tanan, the second witness for the prosecution is no other than Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, Your Honor, please. We call to the witness stand Attorney Lotok.
Kindly situate Attorney Lotok to the witness stand. Attorney Lotok, please remain standing as the clerk of court administers the oath. So far as the prosecution's second witness is concerned. Clerk of court is recognized.
Please raise your right hand. You, Jeremy C. Lotok,
I, Jeremy C. Lotok,
do swear
do swear
that the evidence you shall give
that the evidence that I will be giving
in the case now pending
in the case now pending
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Your witness, counsel for the prosecutors.
Attorney Lotok, you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honors, the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, is offered to prove the following. Number one, Jeremy Lotok is a lawyer by profession, and he was the chief of the Cybercrime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, in 2024. Pangalawa, kasama siya sa NBI team na nagsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente na ginawa sa isang online media briefing noong Nobyembre 23, taong 2024, kung saan diniklara ng Vice Presidente na siya ay kumontrata na ng isang tao para patayin ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang dating Speaker ng House of Representatives. Pangatlo, napag-alaman ng NBI na ang mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay seryoso at totoo. Matapos silang isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Una, the manner of the respondent's delivery of the statement that she intended her remarks to be real and serious threats. She was not merely joking when she uttered those threats. Pangalawa, mga kababayan, even before that fateful press conference on November 23, 2024, bago yung press conference na yan, may nakontrata ng mamamatay tao yung Vice Presidente. Bago pa man ang press conference na yan. Pangatlo, ang utos ng Vice Presidente sa assassin na huwag siyang titigil hanggat hindi napapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang Speaker ng House of Representatives ay nagpapakita na ang Vice Presidente ay determinado at porsigido sa kanyang pagbabanta. Number 4, the result of the investigation and after determining that the respondent's threats are serious and real, led the NBI to file complaints for 3 counts of grave threats and 1 count of inciting to sedition. Number 5, this witness, Attorney Lotok, will identify and authenticate the affidavit of investigation, the annexes, as well as a couple of videos in relation to the NBI's investigation. And number 6 offer, he will also testify on such other matters as are relevant and material to the impeachment of the Vice President. Ready for comment, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent, Attorney Binduan.
Subject to cross, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
Counsel for the prosecutor may proceed.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer, Honorable Judges. Attorney Lotok,
Sir.
maupay nga 𝗬𝗶𝗹𝗶.
Maupay nga kulupman, sir.
Waray-waray po. We are both waray-waray. At the same time, siguro, Attorney Lotok, pwede bang mas malapit pa sa microphone para marinig ng sambayanan lahat ng isasagot ko mo sa mga tanong ko? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotok, kindly state your name, edad, and other personal circumstances.
I am Attorney 𝗬𝗏𝗰𝗃𝗏, 50 years of age, and currently the Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Sinabi mo ikaw ay isang abogado, Attorney Lotok, di ba?
Opo.
Now, yung tanong, kailan ka naging membro ng ating Philippine Bar?
I was admitted to the Philippine Bar and took my lawyer's oath in 2013, sir.
2013. Now, Mr. Lotok, ano ba yung current position mo, occupation mo, kung meron man?
The Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Ikaw ay isang NBI Regional Director for BARM. Now, yung tanong is, how long have you been with the NBI?
I have been in the NBI for the past 12 years, sir.
12 years. No, tanong is, I think, based on my counting, that would be since 2014. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Now, kailan ka ba na-designate as the NBI Regional Director ng BARM?
I was designated in January this year as Regional Director of the NBI BARM, sir.
January 2026. Now, prior to your designation as the NBI Regional Director for BARM, ano ba yung previous position mo within NBI?
I was the Regional Director for Region 4B or 𝗬𝗏𝗶𝗹, sir. I think July 2025.
July 2025 you became. Okay, now, prior to your designation as NBI Regional Director for 𝗬𝗏𝗶𝗹, what was your previous position kung meron man?
I was the Chief of the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, kailan ka? Kailan ka na-designate as Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
I was designated in February 2023, sir.
2023, no? Now, sinabi mo ikaw ay naging Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Attorney Lotok, is what were your primary duties and functions bilang hepe ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
Primary duties, among others, to plan, direct, supervise the investigation of cybercrime cases pursuant to Republic Act 10175 and other relevant laws. And part of my duties and responsibilities is to investigate high-profile cases pursuant to Republic Act 10867, specifically crimes committed by, through and with the use of information and communication technology, sir.
Now, Mr. Witness, of course, you are aware na ikaw ay tumitestigo sa impeachment trial ng respondent. Now, yung tanong is, kilala mo ba yung respondent sa kasong ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yung tanong now is, why do you know her?
She is the incumbent Vice President of the Philippines, and she is the subject of the investigation by the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
So, nasabi mo, she is the subject of an investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is, kailan ba? Kailan nagsimula yung investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division on the respondent?
November 23, 2024, sir.
November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotok, is why? Why did the Cybercrime Division commence an investigation on the Vice President?
We were directed by the then Director Judge 𝗬𝗶𝗹𝗏 to conduct an investigation with regard to a certain video involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, where the Vice President uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, sir.
Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is sa pagkakaalam mo, or kung alam mo, ba't yung NBI, yung inatasang gumawa ng investigasyon na ito?
Well, under the law, specifically Republic Act 10867, the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigations on cases, among others, cases involving threats to security and assault against the persons of the highest officials, sir.
So, threats or assaults on or against highest officials, sabi mo, di ba? Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is, sino ba yung mga highest officials na kung may threat or may assault sa kanila, NBI has to do it, an investigation? Sino yung mga officials na ito?
Yes, Your Honor, they are the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, sir.
All right. Now, so you mentioned Presidente, Vice President, tsaka yung iba pa. Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, that the NBI conducted an investigation on the respondents' statements during an online media briefing on November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotok, is, what exactly did the respondents say on that day that resulted to the investigation?
On that online press conference held on November 23, 2024, the Vice President uttered the following. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko sapagkat may kinausap na akong tao. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag namatay ako, huwag kang tumigil hanggat hindi mo sila mapapatay. And he said yes.
Now, Attorney Lotok, no, yun yung statement. No? Now, sino ba yung mga membro ng investigation team na galing sa division mo, yung Cybercrime Division?
We have Attorney Van Angluben, the then Executive Officer for Operations ng Cybercrime Division. Attorney Vanessa Asuncion, the Executive Officer for Administration back then. John Mark Calilong, the agent on case, and myself, Your Honor.
You mentioned Agent John Mark Calilong.
Yes, Your Honor.
The same person who testified before you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, how did your division commence the investigation?
I instructed the team, specifically Agent Calilong, that for this particular case, we have to follow the 5 phases or stages of cybercrime investigation, sir.
So you instructed John Mark Calilong to follow 4 stages of the investigation?
The team and John Mark Calilong, sir.
Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, yung 4 stages ng Cybercrime Division for the information ng ating honorable judges sa kanyang publiko. This is the question now. Ano ba yung 4 stages ng investigation na ito?
Yeah, Your Honor. For that particular case, first, the identification and preservation of the digital evidence, the collection and hashing of that same digital evidence, that's the second phase. The analysis and attribution phase, the third one. And then the legal evaluation and case filing as the final phase, sir.
So these are the 4 stages. Now, if you know, what was Agent Calilong's response, and if any, sa naging instruction mo sa kanya na sundin yung 4 stages ng cybercrime investigation?
Well, he said yes, and then he proceeded to identify. He proceeded to identify and preserve.
Continue.
Identify and preserve the digital evidence in question, sir.
Now, you said that you instructed Agent Calilong to identify and preserve. Na-mention mo, digital evidence. Yung tanong now is, what is this evidence that you are referring to?
It refers to a certain video, Your Honor, involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, which was streamed through the Facebook page of one attorney 𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗻𝗆 Jr. or 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗃, Your Honor.
So it was the Facebook page of 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗃 who live streamed the video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Witness, after Agent Calilong identified and preserved yung sinasabi mong video, which you said is the first stage of the investigation, ano yung nangyari after that, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo?
Yes, Your Honor. The agent on case proceeded to collect that digital evidence and generated hash value on that digital evidence, and at the same time stored that in a data carrier, Your Honor.
Alam mo, Attorney Lotok, this is the first time na narinig natin yung term na hash value. And I think it's just proper na yung next question ko para malaman ng publiko, Attorney Lotok, ano ba yung hash value na yan?
Well, under the implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act 101/75, or the Reorganization and Modernization Act of NBI, hash value refers to a mathematical algorithm applied to the information like the file, the physical disk, or the logical disk, in this case, the digital evidence, thereby creating a digital fingerprint or DNA for that information or digital evidence, Your Honor.
So to create a fingerprint for the video, is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the video.
All right. Now, Mr. Witness, after the identification, preservation, collection, and hashing, so far these are the 2 stages, what happened next, if any, in relation to your investigation on the Vice President's statement?
We proceeded to the analysis and attribution phase.
Now, ano yung nangyari kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, in this analysis and attribution phase?
In the analysis, we established the intent, the motive, the capability of the Vice President to carry out the threat she mentioned, as well as we proceeded to identify the individuals present in that press conference on November 23, 2024, sir.
Okay, so sinabi mo, you proceeded to identify the different individuals in that video. Siguro yung publiko, they're now interested. So, what happened? What happened pagkatapos yung mag-proceed sa pag-identify sino ba yung nasa video na yan?
First, we have identified media personalities from Philippine Daily Inquirer, from the Manila Times, from the Reuters, SMNI, etc. And then we have also identified the Vice President herself, who in her presence, openly and publicly, uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, and instructed the person to be relentless in killing the 3. And it was streamed through the Facebook page again of 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗃, Your Honor.
You said to be relentless in the killing. Okay, now, after finding out that indeed the Vice President uttered that, to be relentless in the killing, what happened next, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted?
We continued the open source investigation to determine if there were utterances made by the Vice President in previous dates, Your Honor.
Now, ano ba yung naging resulta, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, sa naging open source investigation ng NBI into sinasabi mong mga previous statements ng Vice President?
We have found a press conference dated October 18, 2024, streamed through the official Facebook page of the Office of the Vice President. And we were able to identify, for us, being the investigator, at least 3 material lines or utterances made by the Vice President, sir.
Okay. So you said in that press conference, sinabi mo, you found 3 utterances or statements ng Vice President. Okay,
Among others, sir, yeah.
Among others. So let's focus on these 3. Ano ba yung 3 statements na sinasabi mo?
Well, the first one, the Vice President uttered, gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? And then the second one, the Vice President uttered, I realized toxic na itong relationship, referring to the relationship between the Vice President and the President. And then number 3, I imagine myself cutting his head.
Okay na.
Your Honor.
Recap, sinabi mo, gusto kong tanggalin ng ulo niya. And then sinabi mo rin sa third, I imagine cutting his head. Based on your investigation, Attorney Lotok, kaninong ulo ba yung rinirefer ng Vice President na gusto niyang tanggalin?
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, sir.
Yung ulo ng Presidente ng Republika ng Pilipinas.
Opo.
What proof, if any, do you have that the Vice President said this?
We have that video, Your Honor, dated October 18, 2024.
Now, kung maalala mo, Mr. Witness, saang portion ng video na iyan maririnig yung Vice President, sinasabi yung mga katagang, gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya, imagine myself cutting his head.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Your Honor, I move that.
Witness may do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may my co-counsel be allowed also to produce?
Yes, counsel for respondent may observe as the witness peruses his notes.
Your Honor, may we also be allowed to do the same through
Similar
Attorney
order
Stephen
with
Maganon?
respect to the counsel for the prosecutor.
Your Honor, from timestamps 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 57 seconds to 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 10 seconds. And then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 52 seconds, and then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Okay, so far, Your Honor, for the record, okay, Your Honor, please, sorry. The gentleman mentioned 2 timestamps. So question, if those portions, okay, are shown to you, will you be able to identify the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this juncture, Your Honor, please, the video has already been identified, marked and identified by our previous witness, and it is marked as Exhibit P-4-11 for the prosecution. We move that these 2 portions with individual timestamps, as mentioned, be shown to this witness for his identification, Your Honor, please.
Where is the USB, counsel?
Your Honor, we move that we be allowed to unseal the marked exhibit, Your Honor, please, that was presented last time, Your Honor, please. It's with us. It's with the prosecution.
Kindly unseal the document in the presence of the counsel for respondent. Witness is instructed to unseal the USB. This has been previously marked. So after the unsealing, counsel for the prosecutor and for the respondent are instructed to kindly accompany each other to the tech booth to make sure it is the same, one and the same USB that will be played. Kung may bala kayong buksan uli, huwag nyo na masyadong i-tape na madami. Para hindi masyadong matagal pag i-unseal.
For the record, this will be timestamps 1 hour 35 minutes to 57 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 10 seconds for the first timestamp. For the first portion. And the second portion is from 1 hour 36 minutes to 52 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 58 seconds.
Ayaw?
Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? I realized toxic na yung relationship.
There's one more counsel, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Waiting for the second video. Consisting of 6 seconds only, Your Honor, please.
Imagine myself cutting his head.
Okay, thank you so much, Your Honor, please. May I proceed, Your Honor, please.
Counsel may proceed.
Mr. Witness, What relation, if any, do those videos have, portions of the videos have, with the video you mentioned earlier?
That's the same video I mentioned, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's proceed. Attorney Lotok now. After you discovered these previous statements by the Vice President, what happened next, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted on the Vice President's statements on November 23, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. We have also discovered reactions from the recipients, specifically from the President himself, the Speaker of the House, relevant government agencies tasked to secure the life of the President and the national security,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Thank you so much. You know, Mr. Witness, let's focus on the President kasi it's his head, eh. Ulo ng Presidente, yung gustong tanggalin ng Vice President. Let's focus on the President. Now, what did he say again in particular?
If I may refer to my notes, sir.
Your Honor,
You may do so.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Among others, quote, nakakabahala ang mga pahayag na narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. Nandyan ang walang pakundangang pagbumura at ang pagbabanta ng planong ipapatay ang ilan sa atin. Kung ganon na lang kadali ang pagplano sa pagpatay ng isang presidente, paano pa kaya ang mga pangkaraniwan na mamamayan? Yang ganyang kriminal na pagtatangka ay hindi dapat pinalalampas. Yan ay aking papalagan. Unquote.
now, thank you so much. Okay. Attorney Lotok, you said that the former Speaker of the House of Representatives also gave yung tugon niya sa naging mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente laban sa buhay niya. Could you just summarize exactly ano ba yung tugon ng former Speaker ng House of Representatives?
Yes, Your Honor, if I remember it right, I think the Speaker issued a statement during the plenary session November 25, 2024, which was published in the ANC Digital. And then among others, the former Speaker stated that the utterances were dangerous, unprecedented, isa itong banta sa demokrasya at sa seguridad ng bansa.
Alright, now, Mr. Witness, Attorney Lotok, sinabi mo rin na may mga ahensya ng gobyerno na nagbigay din ng kanilang tugon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente. If you may, anong mga ahensya na ito?
Yes, Your Honor. For one, the Presidential Communications Office, the Philippine National Police, the National Security Council, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Okay. Let's focus on muna sa Presidential Communications Office. Na ano ba yung statement ng Presidential Communications Office kung alam mo?
If I remember it right, the PCO classified the threat as an active threat.
As an active threat.
And directed the Presidential Security Command to, I think, investigate the matter.
As an active threat.
It was the Executive Secretary who directed the Presidential Security Command, so based on that statement.
Okay. Now, sinabi mo rin yung Philippine National Police. Yung tanong is kung maalala mo, ano ba yung sinabi ng PNP in response sa naging mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente sa buhay ng Presidente sa kayong dalawa pa?
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Your Honor?
You may do so, Your Honor. You may do so, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Philippine National Police issued a statement relative to the press conference made by the Vice President. Quote, the Philippine National Police threats any threat to the safety and security of the President and all public officials with the utmost seriousness in light of the Vice President Sara Duterte's recent statement, which directly referenced an assassin contracted to target the President. The PNP recognizes the grave nature of this matter. The safety of the President is a national concern, and any direct or indirect threat to his life must be addressed with the highest level of urgency. Close unquote. Hindi ko na binasa lahat.
All right. Now,
Your Honor.
Attorney Lotov, now, the PNP used, based on your statement as the response of the PNP used the term assassin in referring to the person contracted by the Vice President to kill the President and two others?
Your Honor, it was not just the PNP, even the Presidential Communications Office also used the term assassin, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, what about the National Security Council? Ano bang sinabi ng NSA kung alam mo?
Again, Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes. Pwede na ba?
Your Honor? Your Honor? May the witness be allowed to refer to his notes once more?
You may do so, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the question was about the statement of the NSC, right?
Yes.
Quote, the National Security Council considers all threats to the President of the Philippines as serious. Any and all threats against the life of the President shall be validated and considered a matter of national security, unquote.
Okay. Now, sinabi mo rin na yung Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP nagbigay din ng kanilang response sa naging pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente. Kung alam mo, tsaka kung maaalala mo, ano ba yung sinabi ng Armed Forces of the Philippines?
Same, Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Just a minute, Your Honor. For the record, we're borrowing. Just for the record.
For orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please, I think it's proper for Attorney Season to ask to be recognized first.
Yes, Your Honor, we will do that. If I may be recognized, Your Honor.
Depends. What is the pleasure of Attorney Counsel for Respondent Attorney Season?
We'll just state an observation on the note.
Your Honor, I think
Counsel,
you
we
must be
agreed
recognized first.
that only one counsel shall speak insofar as the presentation of a witness is concerned. This was objected to by the counsel for respondents, even if it was asked for by the counsel for the prosecutors.
Your Honor, for
We will do that,
the
Your
record,
Honor.
we are not objecting, but for a properly proceeding Attorney Season.
Counsel, it's okay. The chair will make a ruling. Attorney Binluan can
Thank you.
handle
Thank you, Your Honor.
with your permission, Attorney Season.
Your Honor, I'd just like to share the observation that the witness is reading from from his notes and not directly from the document that he identified.
And if I may reply to that, Your Honor, to that non-issue, Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there's nothing.
Yes, counsel for the prosecutors.
Your Honor, wala po sa rules na kailangan na yung tugon ng isang witness, sinabi niyang notes, dapat based sa isang dokumento. In fact, Your Honor, please, yung iniisip ng ating rules, yung mga notes na ginawa mismo ng witness. For the public, if you're interested, you may look at Rule 130, Section 16 ng Rules of Court. Andun yun, pwedeng tingnan ng isang testigo yung notes na ginawa niya. Rule 130, Section 16, Your Honor, please.
Before I recognize counsel for respondent, Senator Judge Lacson, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This is relevant to the discussion.
The gentleman may proceed and he has 2 minutes.
Yes. You requested to refer to your notes, a number of times during your direct examination. Ang tanong ko,
Opo.
are you referring to an investigator's notes or notebook or simply notes?
No, Your Honor. During the investigation, I have copies of the affidavit of investigation
Okay.
that we have.
Yeah, I asked that question because my understanding of an investigator's notes or notebook to be credible and may even be used as part of the examination or evidence in chief, depending on its authenticity and purpose and the role of evidence, is that the contents therein were written on the exact dates when the subjects of those notes actually happened. Ito yung ginawa nyo mismo?
Yes, Your Honor, during
Thank
the
you.
investigation.
Thank you
Your
for the clarification.
Thank you, Senator Judge Lacson. Noted and entered into the records. Counsel for respondent, what is your pleasure?
Your Honor, that was mere manifestation, Your Honor. We just want to put it for the record.
There being no objections, some witness may proceed and answer, or counsel may proceed with his questions.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ano sinabi ng Armed Forces? Are we done? Not yet. Okay, so let's go back.
Yeah, if I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
Witness may continue to answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. On November 23, 2024, General Romeo S. Browner, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, issued the following statements. Quote, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is a professional organization focused on its mandate to protect the people and the state. Our personnel are loyal to the Constitution and the chain of command, unquote. Hindi ko
Okay,
na po
now.
binasa lahat, sir.
Okay, now, after you and your team discovered these responses, Attorney Loto, what happened next, if any, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, in relation sa investigation nyo, sa mga statements ng Vice President on that day, November 23, 2024?
We issued subpoena to the media personalities present during the online press conference of November 23, 2024. Sir,
What?
for them to appear on December 4, 2024, sir.
You issued a subpoena to the media personalities that you said andun sa media conference na yun to appear on December 4, 2024. Now, sino ba yung mga media personalities na pinasubpoena ng NBI?
Again, Your Honor, if I may refer to my...
You may do so, Mr.
Thank you,
Witness.
thank you, Your Honor. First to the late 𝗬𝗭𝗪𝗫 of the Philippine Daily Inquirer, and then to 𝗬𝗶𝗰𝗵𝗺 Mendoza of the Manila Times, 𝗬𝗵𝗺 of Rappler, Ana Rosario Malinduuy of the Manila Times, Jason Rubrico of the SMNI, and Michael Flores of the Reuters, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Witness, yung tanong now is, ba't kailangan isubpoena ng NBI itong mga media personalities na ito na mag-appear sa NBI sa araw na iyon, December 4, 2024?
Your Honor, they were there during the online press con, and they participated the press conference. So, ang tingin namin, meron silang personal knowledge kasi nandun sila at nag-participate po sila. Kaya, we deemed it proper to issue subpoena on them.
Now, so you said na they were subpoenaed to appear on December 4, 2024 in the NBI. Now, what happened on that day, December 4, 2024, if any, and if you know, in relation to the investigation you conducted?
The agent on case reported to me that Mr. Reyes and I think Mr. Magsambol appeared before the Office of the Cybercrime Division and participated in the process of the interview, sir.
Now, how do you know? How do you know that these two individuals, at least, si Dempsey Reyes, again, may his soul rest in peace, and Magsambol appeared before the NBI on that day, December 4, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. Aside from the fact that the agent in case reported that to me, he showed to me the minutes of meeting wherein the signatures of the late Mr. Reyes and 𝗏𝗏 were affixed on it, Your Honor.
Okay.
May nakapirma ho sila doon sa minutes of meeting, sir.
All right, now. Thank you so much, Attorney Lotok. Now, Attorney Lotok, you said that your team interviewed members of the media. You issued subpoena to them and they appeared. Now, what else happened, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted?
We issued subpoena ad testificandum to the Vice President herself to shed light in the investigation we are conducting, sir.
So you're telling the public that you, NBI, also issued a subpoena to the Vice President?
Yes, Your Honor.
answered, Your Honor.
Okay, now, proceed, Your Honor. Now, what proof, if any, do you have that, in fact, the NBI issued a subpoena addressed to the Vice President?
We have copy of that subpoena ad testificandum dated November 25, 2024, sir.
Now, kung yung subpoena na binigay ng NBI sa Vice Presidente may petsang Nobyembre 25 taong 2024 ipapakita sa iyo, makikilala mo ba yung dokumentong ito?
Opo.
Now, we are now in the process of presenting to you a subpoena ad testificandum dated on even date December 25, 2024. That
Counsel
is...
for the parties are authorized to approach and
Thank you so
view
much.
the document.
For the record, this is previously marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-4 for the prosecution. Have you perused the same, Attorney Lotok?
Yes, Your Honor.
Question, what relation, if any, does that document have with the subpoena you mentioned?
This is the same subpoena I mentioned, sir.
Thank you so much. So the NBI issued a subpoena to the Vice President.
Your Honor, can we just make a comment?
Counsel for the respondents recognized.
We have.
Your Honor, may we just put on record that Exhibit P-4-4 is a photocopy and it was not, the original or the certified copy thereof was not produced.
We are ready to produce that, and that's the next step we are supposed to do.
Noted. Please proceed.
We have a copy of the certified true copy. We invite the defense to check the same for comparison, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent.
Your Honor, it is a faithful reproduction of the certified true copy, Your Honor.
Noted for the records.
May
Counsel
proceed,
for
Your
the
Honor.
prosecutors may proceed.
Now, Mr. Witness, we would like to know, how did the Vice President respond, if any, if at all, and if you know, to the NBI's subpoena issued to her?
Well, the Vice President did not appear, Your Honor. Instead, she sent her lawyer, Attorney Paul Lawrence Lim, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, she did not appear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Answered.
Okay, now, question. If you know, what was the Vice President's reason for failing to appear at the NBI, in the NBI, despite the subpoena issued to her?
I think the Vice President, in effect, was saying there were office matters to tend to, so she cannot attend the scheduled subpoena date, sir.
Office matters. Now, how did the respondent, the Vice President, inform you that she could not attend the subpoena because she was attending to, quote, office matters, unquote?
There was a letter, I think, dated November 28, 2024, which was submitted by the counsel of the Vice President, sir.
So the letter, December 20, 2024. Now, kung yung kopya ng letter na yan ipapakita sa iyo, ma-identify mo ba yung letter na ito?
Opo,
Now,
Your Honor.
we're in the process of showing you a copy of the letter dated November 28, 2024.
Counsel for the prosecutor may approach, as well as counsel for the respondent.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the same letter that I mentioned.
Your Honor, can I make a manifestation of these points?
The prosecutor may proceed.
Your Honor, the letter from the Vice President's lawyer is not marked in exhibit. At this juncture, Your Honor, please, if the defense will agree, we move that the same be marked as an additional exhibit for the prosecution, and the specific marking that we are asking the court to follow is Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-32 for the prosecution, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent.
We have no objection to that, Your Honor.
So ordered. So marked.
Thank you so much. Now, so what did the... Your Honor, please. Your Honor, do we have to pause for the marking, or do I proceed?
Please proceed, counsel.
Thank you so much, Your Honor, please. Thank you so much. Now, so what did the NBI do? Anong ginawa ng NBI after yung Vice Presidente hindi sumipot sa NBI despite the subpoena kung meron man?
Yes, Your Honor. We deemed it proper to issue another subpoena to give the Vice President another time so she can prepare. And at the same time, in reply to the letter submitted by the lawyer, we issued also a letter dated December 2, 2024, because the Vice President in that letter from her lawyer was asking copy of the complaint and the question to be propounded by the NBI to the Vice President.
All right. Now, let's go to that letter, Attorney Lotok na. Puntahan natin yung letter na iyan. Now, kung alam mo, ano ba yung sinabi ng NBI sa letter na iyan na pinadala sa Vice President after hindi siya sumipot despite the subpoena sent to her?
Your Honor, the document would speak for itself. No need for the witness to read.
I think the counsel
Witness may answer if he knows.
Yeah, among others, sir, sinabi ho doon sa letter namin noong December 2, 2024 na ini-inform namin ang Vice Presidente na iniimbestigahan din po namin yung alleged threat against sa kanyang life. At sinabi namin na kailangan namin yung kanyang presensya para may makuha kaming information, para ho may mapagsimulan kami doon sa investigation against threat to her life, Your Honor.
Now, what proof, if any, do you have that the NBI issued another subpoena addressed to the Vice President?
Yeah, we have that copy of the subpoena dated, if I'm not mistaken, December 2, 2024. Sir?
Na, okay. Attorney Lota, kung yung kopya ng pangalawang subpoena ipapakita sa iyo, ma-identify mo ba?
Yes, sir.
Now, we are now in the process of showing you that subpoena. The defense may also
Counsel
check.
for the prosecutor as well as respondent may approach to compare.
And for the record, that second subpoena addressed to the Vice President has been previously marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-6 for the prosecution.
That's the same subpoena I mentioned, sir.
Okay, so that's the same subpoena. Do we have any observation from the defense?
Counsel for respondent.
The document is a machine copy, Your Honor.
Machine copy. Stephen, where's the Stephen? Your Honor, we move that the certified true copy in our possession be compared with the photocopy identified by the witness, Your Honor, please.
Counsel, this has not been marked, right?
This has been marked this time, Your Honor, please. The second subpoena.
This has been marked already.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same observation, Your Honor, as the last document.
Meaning it is a photocopy?
It is the same as the photocopy of the copies are the same, but it is not it is not the original, just a photocopy of the original, Your Honor. That was certified.
Wait, so
I do not get it, Counsel.
Your Honor, the other document that the prosecution is showing is a certified copy, Your Honor. So in other words, it is the same as the photocopy that was previously marked, Your Honor.
But certified.
Correct, Your Honor.
Noted.
thank you.
You may proceed.
Now, you also mentioned, Attorney Lotok, yung isang letter, this time, it's dated December 2, 2024. Now, kung yung letter na iyan ipapakita sa'yo, ma-identify mo ba ito?
Yes, sir.
Now, we are in the process of showing you a copy of that letter that is previously marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-5 with submarking P-Roman numeral 4-5 small letter A. May you peruse the same and answer the question. After perusing the document, what relation, if any, does this document have with the one you mentioned?
The same document that I mentioned, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Mr. Witness, sa pangalawang subpoena,
Your Honor, the document again is a photocopy, machine copy.
Your Honor, we move that the certified true copy that we have in possession be compared with the photocopy that is marked in exhibit for the prosecution office.
Counsel for respondent is instructed to so view the certified true copy and make the corresponding manifestation of their observation.
Faithful reproduction of the certified copy, Your Honor.
Noted.
Thank you so much.
Counsel,
Proceed, Your Honor. Now, Attorney Lotok, ano ba yung naging tugon, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, ng Vice Presidente sa pangalawang subpoena na inisyo ng NBI?
Yes, Your Honor. The Vice President again did not appear, but instead sent her lawyer with another letter.
Another letter?
Yes, Your Honor. Submitted to the Office of the Cybercrime Division.
Okay, now, kung alam mo, ano ba yung nilalaman ng letrang iyan, yung pangalawang letter ng Vice President in response to the second subpoena ng NBI?
If I remember it right, sinasabi doon, we must state the obvious. The NBI is under the administrative supervision ng Secretary of Justice, who is an alter ego of the President. And the Executive Secretary is the chief alter ego. So, minarapat daw niya makinig sa kanyang counsel at hindi na mag-appear sa subpoena ng NBI, Your Honor.
Now, kung yung, what proof, if any, do you have of that letter?
We have copy of that letter, Your Honor.
Kung yung kopya ng letter na yan ipapakita sa iyo, ma-identify mo ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, we are showing you a copy of the letter dated December 10, 2024. The question after you peruse the same, what relation, if any, does that document have with the letter you mentioned?
The same document that I mentioned, sir.
Your Honor, manifestation, the same letter coming from the Vice President's counsel is not marked in exhibits by the prosecution. Same with the previous letter we moved, that the same, with agreement from the defense counsel, be marked as our exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-33 for the prosecution. It is a photocopy of that letter, Your Honor, please.
What does counsel for the respondent say?
No objection to that, Your Honor.
No objection. Thank you so much.
Noted. Kindly have it marked.
Your Honor, proceed. Now, Mr. Witness, what else, if any, did the letter state, if any?
Well, the counsel for the Vice President stated that the Vice President is confident that the NBI will also investigate the alleged threat against her life. Yun po yung tenor ng letter na yun, sir.
Now, ito yung tanong now. You mentioned earlier that the Vice President stated that she already contracted an assassin to kill the President and the two others. Now, Attorney Lotok, wait, not yet done. No question yet.
Please proceed, counsel.
As the head of the investigation team, what was your impression of the Vice President when she declared that she already contracted an assassin to kill the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls
what
for an
ground?
opinion.
Opinion. You may cite the rule, Your Honor, please.
And misleading as well, Your Honor. She never mentioned the word assassin.
Your Honor, the term, may I reply to that, Your Honor, please?
Counsel for the
The term
prosecution is recognized.
assassin had a fiction. It is the same term used by the PNP and by the PCO. So it's not plucked out of thin air, Your Honor, please. So we have basis for using the term assassin.
But Your Honor, the counsel mentioned that it was VP Sara who mentioned it. And that was phrased in his answer. So we are objecting to that, Your Honor.
With the understanding that the witness will base his answer on his investigation or knowledge insofar as the investigation that he himself conducted and led is concerned, and not as a conclusion of fact and law. The witness may answer.
What was your impression?
Yes, Your Honor. To me, as the chief investigator at that time, the utterances made by the Vice President was serious, and the threat was real and actual, sir.
Mr. Witness, if I may intercede, counsel, is this contained in your investigation report?
Yes, sir.
You may proceed, counsel.
Seryoso tsaka totoong pagbabanta. Now, what made you say that? Na yung pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay both seryoso at totoo.
Well, Your Honor, we considered the content and context of the utterances made by the Vice President in November 23, 2024, as well as the utterances made by the Vice President in October 18, 2024, and the reactions from the recipients, as well as reactions from several government agencies, sir.
Content and context. Now, exactly, yung tanong is, exactly, how did you analyze the content and the context of the entire press conference?
We considered several factors, Your Honor, in the analysis of that content and context.
Several factors. To be exact, kung alam mo, ilang factors kinonsider nyo?
At least four.
At least four.
Your Honor, number one, the delivery or manner in which the utterances were spoken.
That's one.
Number two, the literal meaning of the statement, Your Honor. Number three, the nature of the instruction, and number four, the relationship between the parties, sir.
So four factors. Now, Attorney Lotok, let's go to the first factor, no? Let's go to the first factor. The delivery of the manner in which the threats were spoken. What made you say that the respondent was both serious and real when she uttered those threats?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for an opinion.
Your Honor, Your Honor, if I may.
Based on his investigation, counsel, he may testify as to that. Witness may answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The Vice President was furious and fuming mad when she uttered those.
Could you repeat it? Furious and
fuming mad, sir.
Fuming mad. Furious and fuming mad. Now, what made you say na yung Vice Presidente was both furious, and fumingly mad?
Well, nakita ho namin dun sa video nung niran ho namin, Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, I think more or less 8 beses ho siyang galit na galit at nagmumura at minumura yung Presidente, si First Lady, and then si former Speaker of the House, sir.
8 beses.
If I'm not mistaken, more or less, sir.
Now, and then you're referring to the video. Now, in what particular portions of the video, okay, did the Vice President hurl invectives or sa Tagalog, pagmumura kung sa Cebuano pamalikas, kung hawaray-waray, buyayaw. Mga ilang beses? 8? In what particular portions?
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
You may do so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In the interest of time, Your Honor, please, while the councils are doing that, I move that the previously marked and identified Exhibit P Roman numeral 4-10, which is the flash drive containing the video of that press conference, be unsealed in the presence of counsels from both sides.
You may proceed.
And then you may now answer, Mr. Witness, anong mga timestamps ba ito?
Yeah, Your Honor, from timestamp 53 minutes to 27 seconds, and 53 minutes to 39 seconds.
So 53 minutes, 27 seconds to 53 minutes, 39 seconds. The second timestamp, if you may.
54 minutes to 03 seconds, and 54 minutes to 08 seconds.
54 minutes, 03 seconds to 54 minutes, 08 seconds. That's the second timestamp. What about the next timestamp, if you know?
55 minutes to 42 seconds, and 56 minutes to 07 seconds.
55 minutes, 42 seconds to 56 minutes, 06 seconds. What about the fourth timestamp, if you know?
58 minutes to 38 seconds, up to 58 minutes to 47 seconds.
58 minutes, 38 seconds to 58 minutes to 47 seconds. What about the fifth timestamp, if you know?
1 hour, 02 minutes and 25 seconds. 1 hour, 02 minutes and 32 seconds, sir.
1 hour, 02 minutes to 25 seconds to 1 hour, 02 minutes, 32 seconds. What about the next, the sixth timestamp, if you know?
1 hour, 05 minutes and 08 seconds, up to 1 hour, 05 minutes and 31 seconds.
1 hour, 05 minutes, 08 seconds to 1 hour, 05 minutes, 31 seconds. What about the last timestamp, Mr. Witness?
1 hour, 08 minutes and 43 seconds. And then 1 hour, 08 minutes and 54 seconds, Your Honor.
1 hour, 08 minutes, 43 seconds to 1 hour, 08 minutes, 54 seconds. Your Honor, we move that those 7 timestamps identified by the witness be shown in sequence, Your Honor, please.
So ordered. Your counsel for the prosecutors will kindly give the flash drive to be unsealed by the witness, as witnessed by counsel for the respondents. Thereafter, for counsel of the parties to kindly accompany each other to the tech booth so that the USB may be played with respect to the specified timestamps of the witness.
Punitin, okay lang.
Sado. Utang ina ninyo. Sino ang corrupt? Yung mga congressman na yan na na kesyo taksil, kesyo corrupt, abusado. Utang ina ninyo. Sino ang corrupt? Itong ginagawa ko eh. Putang ina, hindi mo pala gusto ginagawa mo eh. Bakit mo sinisira pangalan ko? 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗏. He did not know what he was talking about. That's so incompetent. Or he was lying through his teeth to get the votes of people. Utang ina ninyong lahat. Martin Romualdez, Lisa Marcos, Bongbong Marcos.
I think we have two more.
Tapos kami yung nagsisinungaling? Nagpipigil ako eh. Kasi gusto ko lang magtrabaho. Gusto ko lang tapusin nyo na yung ng show ninyo dyan sa House of Representatives para makabalik na kami.
I think we have two more.
Ang ina ninyo.
I think that will be the last. Your Honor, that will be the last.
Counsel, that's the 7 timestamps?
Let me confirm. Attorney Magallaon. Okay, we have one more. We have 2 more, Your Honor, please. I was told we have 2 more timestamps, Your Honor, please.
2 more.
Thank you.
Martin. Nangangampanya tayo. Nakasakay tayo sa eroplano. Magkatabi tayo. Nagre-reklamo ka, putang ina ka, walang pera.
And the last one.
Maalis mo man ako sa presidential days, hindi pa rin ikaw ang presidente, king ina mo. Walang buboto sa'yo. Please lang.
Okay. Thank you.
Wala.
So, Your Honor, those were the 7 timestamps, portions of the video where the Vice President hurled invectives and profanities. Now, the question is, may I proceed, Your Honor?
Counsel, to clarify,
Yeah, opo.
that the Vice President hurled invectives, period. Not necessarily against the 3 officials mentioned.
Most of them were against the 3 officials, Your Honor, please.
I only counted or heard 1 or 2. Out of the 7, I heard Representative Chua, but he's not one of the subject matters of this case. But just for the record, does the witness confirm that? Out of the 7 timestamps, there are approximately 2 or 3 that mentioned either all 3 or 1 of the top officials. Would that be correct, Mr. Witness?
I think more than that, sir, if you can see the
Make your
context.
voice louder, louder.
If I'm not mistaken, I think 5 times referring to either Martin Romualdez or Liza Marcos or the president.
The rest were either congressmen or a particular congressman.
If I'm not mistaken, sir. Yeah.
Counsel, you may proceed.
Now, Mr. Witness, etong mga 7 timestamps kung saan nagmumura yung Vice Presidente. Why is this a factor in classifying her threats as serious and real?
Yes, Your Honor. It's very much factor. Because we want to establish the intent of the Vice President, and that intent is crucial in our investigation. We want to determine whether those utterances made by the Vice President were just a product of a temporary fit of anger. Was it just spur of the moment, or were they really serious, actual, and real threat?
So what was your conclusion?
Your Honor.
So what was your conclusion? Was it serious, real?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Okay.
Serious and real.
Let's go to factor number 2. So 2 out of 4 factors. Now, sinabi mo yung literal meaning ng mga utterances ng Vice President. Yung literal meaning, why is this a factor in your conclusion na seryoso at totoo yung pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente?
Yes, Your Honor. Klaro po dun sa utterances ng Vice Presidente. Even before the online press conference held on November 23, 2024, the Vice President had already contracted a person to kill the President, Liza Marcos, and the former Speaker, Your Honor.
Siguro, so the public will understand. I want you to answer in Tagalog. No? Ba't mahalaga sa inyo, sa investigasyon nyo, na yung pagkukontrata ng tao na papatay sa Pangulo at dalawa pa, nangyari ito bago pa man yung press conference. Ba't mahalaga sa investigasyon mo yan?
Yes, Your Honor, mahalaga ho yan para sa amin. Basically, it's indicative of intent that the utterances was deliberately made up by the Vice President, and it really shows serious, actual and real threat, Your Honor.
All right, now, Attorney Lotoc, let's go to the third factor. Yung third factor is now sinasabi mo, yung nature ng instruction. Now, could you tell the public and the court, ano bang ibig sabihin ng factor number 3, nature of the instruction?
Yes, Your Honor. In those utterances, the Vice President said, wag kang tumigil hanggat hindi mo sila mapapatay. It shows persistence on the part of the Vice President, that she was determined to carry out those utterances. And from the point of view of law enforcement agency like the NBI, it's alarming for us, sir.
It is alarming from the point of view of law enforcement agents. Now, in Tagalog, if you may, ba't mo nasabing nakaka-alarma yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente na yung instruction na huwag kang titigil hanggat hindi mo napapatay ang Pangulo, ang unang ginang, at ang former Speaker ng House of Representatives? Ba't mahalaga? Ba't alarming yan?
Well, Your Honor, pwede hong mag-take advantage yung ibang grupo dyan, ibang individual. God forbid may mangyari sa Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. Matitrigger ho ngayon yung instruction, and then papatayin ngayon yung, God forbid again, ang Presidente, Lisa Marcos, ang former Speaker. And in fact, even yung triggering na phase na yon, pwedeng mag-take advantage doon yung ibang grupo, thinking na pag in-assassinate natin ang tatlo, ang sisisihin ang Vice Presidente. So marami hong anggulo, Your Honor, para ho sa amin sa law enforcement. Medyo magiging disorder, magiging chaotic, magiging anarchy yung society pag hindi siya na-address. Yun po yung sa amin as investigator, sir.
But was she not only joking, Attorney Lotoc?
Objection leading, Your Honor.
Pero there's basis to that, Your Honor.
Sustained. Reform your
Okay,
question.
now, let's go to, let's proceed, Mr. Witness. So far, you mentioned, ito yung mga factor, no? Manner, literal meaning, nature of the instruction. Ano ba yung fourth factor kung alam mo?
The relationship between the parties, meaning the relationship between the Vice President and the President, sir.
Now, what about the fourth factor? No, why is this significant to investigation?
Well, in one of the utterances made by the Vice President, she characterizes the relationship with the President as toxic. Your
Toxic.
Honor. If I'm not mistaken, at least 3 times niya binigkas yung term na toxic, referring to the relationship between her and the President, sir.
Now, what were your reasons, if any, that made you conclude na nasabi na ng Vice President na toxic yung relationship niya between her and the President?
Objection calls for an opinion, Your
Your
Honor.
Honor, investigation.
Witness may answer part of his investigation.
Una, yung resignation niya as Secretary ng Department of Education. Pangalawa, yung utterances niya noong October 18, nung sinabi niya na I realized toxic na itong relationship. Gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? And then I imagine myself cutting his head.
What else, if any?
The reaction of the recipient of those utterances, Your Honor, the reaction from the President himself, sir.
So the reaction from the President himself. Now, you already mentioned kanina ano yung reaction ng President. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotoc, is, why did you consider yung reaction ng mga recipients ng pagbabanta, kagaya ng President? Let's focus on the President. ba't nyo kinonsider yung reaction nila?
Well, we want to establish whether the recipient of those utterances felt intimidated by those statements, or did they took it serious and actual threat. Material ho sa amin yun, Your Honor, if only to establish the mens rea of
Mens rea ng krimen. Now, let's focus on the President. Now, let's focus on the President. Ito yung premise now. Based on your investigation, no? What was your impression of the President based on his reaction? Was he intimidated?
Well, yung opening statement ng Presidente, ang sabi niya, nakakabahala ang mga narinig natin itong mga nakarang araw. Ito'y isang kriminal na pagtatangka. Papalagan ko to. Yes, Your Honor. The President took the threat by the Vice President as serious and real.
Now, Mr. Witness, aside from yung reaction ng mga recipients, we focus on the President. Ano pa yung ibang mga factors na kinonsider nyo kung meron pa man?
Yes, Your Honor. We find it, this is from the point of view of the investigator, we find it disturbing when we try to compare the utterances made in October 18 and the utterances made in November 23. And may nakita ho kami doon, at least 3 o 4 na medyo sabi ko nga, disturbing from the point of view namin.
Disturbing? 3 or 4 na disturbing na?
Na utterances, Your Honor.
Utterances. Now, let's go to that. So you said you compared the utterances in October 18 tsaka November 23. Sabi mo, you found at least 3 or 4 disturbing statements. Tama ba? Now, ano ba yung 3 statements na ito?
Your Honor, we are trying to establish the patterns and the consistencies of those utterances. For instance, nung October 18, ang sabi niya is, walang number 1 ang Pilipinas na to. Para sa akin, number 2 lamang ito. Walang number 1. And then we compared it in November 23, ang sabi niya, ni-reiterate niya, I do not recognize anybody above me. That's number 1, Your Honor. The number 2, ang sabi niya noong October 18, hindi marunong maging presidente yung nakaupo, kasalanan ko ba yon? And then we compared it in November 23, ang sabi niya doon, this country will go to hell because that person who's sitting, sabi niya, doesn't know how to be a president and who is a liar.
All right.
The number 3, ang sabi niya sa October 18, meron akong 5 impeachable offense na alam kay BBM pero papasabad dyan sa House. Siyempre hindi. Then kinumpare namin November 23, ang sabi niya doon is he was lying through his teeth para makuha lang yung boto ng mga tao, and then nagmura na siya PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos and Martin Romualdez, Your Honor.
What do you mean by PI?
Putang ina, sir.
Okay. You said that you found these 3 comparisons disturbing. Now, these 3, ano yung significance ng 3 comparisons nito sa investigasyon nyo? Kung meron man.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on these patterns and consistencies in the utterances made by the Vice President, it appears that these statements have tendency to stir up the people against the government, have tendency to disturb the peace of the community, have tendency to undermine the peace and order, the public peace and order, sir.
Now, Mr. Witness, given all these findings, sinabi mo, seryoso, tsaka totoo, yung mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente, anong ginawa ng division mo, kung meron man, in relation to the investigation?
We executed, Your Honor, affidavit of investigation, and we recommended criminal charges. 3 counts for grave threats, and 1 count for inciting to sedition, sir.
Yo, Your Honor, now, na-mention mo yung affidavit of investigation. For clarity, anong date ng affidavit of investigation na nasabi mo?
February 10, 2024.
February 10.
2025, sir.
February 10, kung yung affidavit of investigation and the annexes ipapakita sa iyo, ma-identify mo ba yung affidavit na ito?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now a copy of the affidavit of investigation. May petsang February 10, 2025. That is previously marked for the prosecution as Exhibit P-4-3. You peruse the documents and access. I move that the defense be allowed to peruse the same. And the question is, what do these documents have? What relation, if any, do these documents have with the documents you mentioned?
Counsel for both parties may approach.
Manifestation, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
Your Honor, we just like to manifest, Your Honor, that the marked document, permanently marked by the prosecution, does not contain any annexes. And the other set of documents that he is comparing it to has affidavit annexes, Your Honor.
I can reply to that, Your Honor, please. If I
Counsel
may,
for the prosecution will please reply.
Number one, the affidavit of investigation, the annexes thereto, ay makikita yung mga annexes, most of them, as separate documents that have been pre-marked. Ulitin ko, yung mga hinahanap ng depensa ng mga annexes sa affidavit of investigation, nasa record ng Senado yan because na-marka separately, because they have been identified separately also by the previous witness. I hope that satisfies.
Counsel, what does counsel for the respondent say?
Your Honor, is that an admission that the affidavit of investigation was stripped of its annexes?
No. Your Honor, if I may, ang klaro namang sinabi ko. Can I reply to that, Your Honor, please?
Chair would like to clarify the matter instead. Are all the annexes listed and identified in the footnotes of the affidavit of investigation marked or pre-marked by the prosecution?
I can answer that. Most of them, Your Honor, please, and I can identify ano yung mga hindi na marked tsaka yung reason.
So most, not all?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
And for the record, that the affidavit of investigation that the witness is identifying and that you have marked does not contain any of the annexes mentioned in the affidavit of investigation, without prejudice, of course, to the annexes that you already marked.
Yes, Your Honor.
And identified by either this or other witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor. Not attached specifically to the affidavit, but found in the same record of the
Not attached to the document that the witness is identifying right now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does that satisfy the counsel for the
Your Honor, we're
respondent?
not objecting as to how they marked it. We're just manifesting it for the
That
record.
it's not there.
Yes.
Yes.
So noted. Witness
you.
may answer.
Yeah, this is the same document that I...
Okay. Yeah, you have.
Your Honor, this is the same document that I mentioned.
Okay. May proceed, Your Honor, please.
You may proceed.
Now, Attorney Lotok, sorry.
Just to manifest, Your Honor,
Counsel for the respondent is recognized.
just to manifest, Your Honor, that again, the comparison, Your Honor, was made with the certified true copy, not the original, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So noted.
Thank you so much.
Please proceed, counsel for the prosecutor.
Attorney Lotok, sa pahinang 28 ng Affidavit of Investigation, may makikitang pirma sa ibabaw ng pangalang S.A. Jeremy Lotok. Yung makikita mo ba yan? Yung tanong, kaninong pirma ito?
This is my signature, sir.
And sa pahinang 29 ng affidavit, may makikita ang pirma sa ibabaw ng pangalang S.A. Jeremy Lotto. Kaninong pirma ba ito?
Again, sa akin, pirma ho ito, sir.
Your Honor, at this juncture, the prosecution manifests and move that the two signatures of the witness be marked as Exhibit P Roman numeral 4-3-1, that's for the first, and the other one P Roman numeral 4-3-2. Reason is these signatures have not yet been marked in Exhibit, Your Honor, please.
No objection to that, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Now, may I proceed, Your Honor?
You may proceed.
Attorney Lotto, in paragraphs 202 tsaka 203 ng naging answer ng Vice President dated May 25, 2026 to the articles of impeachment, which document forms part of the record of these courts, sinasabi ng Vice President na she was merely exercising her freedom of expression. Freedom of expression, sinabi niya. That's protected, yung pagbabanta niya. Are you aware of this defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Lotto, as a lawyer and as the head of the NBI Cybercrime Division, that's the basis, Your Honor. Do you agree with this?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for an opinion. This is not part of the investigation.
She's a lawyer, Your Honor. That's
It
a matter
does
of
call
law.
for an opinion, and it's not part of their investigation, counsel. Kindly reform your question. I know where you're getting at, but kindly reform your question.
Okay. Your Honor, Attorney Lotto, you are aware of the defense
Yes.
that it's a freedom of expression. Okay. In your investigation, did you consider this, if at all, and if any?
Objection, Your Honor, leader.
There's basis, if at all, if
Witness
any.
may answer.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. We consider that whether magfo-fall ba siya sa confines ng freedom of speech.
And what was your finding? That's the basis now. What was your finding?
Well, una, three reasons, Your Honor, if kung okay lang. Una, when the second highest official of the land openly and publicly uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the highest official of the land, the First Lady and the former Speaker, and that she instructed the person to be relentless in killing them, we failed to see any amount of freedom of speech in that utterances, Your Honor. That's number one. Number two, we talk to ourselves. If we allow the argument that it is within the bounds of freedom of speech, if we allow that to become the norms of our society, then who would prevent anybody from doing the same to anyone? Pwede na pong sabihin, patayin mo si Senator ganito pag itong nangyari. Patayin mo si Congressman ganito pag ganito ang nangyari. Patayin mo si Justice ganito pag ganito ang nangyari. So imagine, Your Honor, the anarchy, the disorder, and the chaos it would bring to our country. And number three, Your Honor, as a lawyer and being in the law enforcement, freedom of speech protects lawful expression, but it does not protect utterances that satisfies the elements of a criminal offense, like this one, Your Honor.
Satisfies the elements of a criminal offense like this one. Ito yung tanong now. Attorney Lotto, based on your finding, based on your affidavit of investigation, did the Vice President commit a crime?
based on our
Objection,
findings.
Your Honor, leading and calls for conclusion of
This is
law.
based on his investigation. Let the witness answer.
Sustained, but the presiding officer will ask the question to the witness. Based on your investigation, Attorney Loto,
Yes, sir.
was
Yes,
there
Your Honor.
enough basis to file a criminal complaint, as you did, for the crimes you charged the Vice President with? Prima facie evidence only, huh? Not as to whether or not she indeed committed it or not, because only a court of justice can determine that.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on our findings, we believe that the Vice President committed the crime of grave threats and inciting to sedition.
Only insofar as satisfying the requirement of prima facie evidence sufficient to file a case.
Prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Sir.
Yes, that would be a more complete description of what you have to comply with before you can file a case.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes po.
Counsel may proceed.
Thank you so much. Let's continue. Attorney Lotok, kita magpapadayon hininaton mga pakiana nga naimo pagbaton hininaton mga
Your Honor,
pakiana.
Your Honor.
What's
May
your
I
objection?
be allowed to make a manifestation? Your Honor, as I understand, only Filipino and
my goodness.
English was...
careful.
because I cannot understand, Your Honor, what he was saying. So can we just ask that he states his statement in Filipino or English, Your Honor?
Your Honor, Filipino language encompasses all the languages, dialects. It includes our very own waray-waray.
But
Counsel, the rules state only Filipino and English, but I will let it go once in a while, but not each time.
we will
Yes, Your
submit, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may proceed, counsel, for the prosecutors.
Now, you mentioned that the respondent's lawyer, Attorney Lim, through a letter said that the Vice President was confident in your office's assurance that the alleged threats to her were also being investigated. Malala mo, sagot mo yun doon?
Yes, Your Honor. Po.
Now, what did the NBI do, if any, on the alleged threats? This time, sinasabi niya, to her, to the Vice President, kung meron man.
Yes, Your Honor. We started the investigation on the alleged threat against the life of the Vice President.
You started. So, what was the result? If any, if at all, if you know, to that investigation?
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we issued a letter dated December 2, 2024, we informed the Vice President that we are investigating on that alleged threat against her life and that we want information, any information that would give us any investigative lead on that matter, Your Honor. Unfortunately, the Vice President did not appear. So wala ho kaming makitang pagsisimulan na imbestigahan. Well, may nakita kami sa I think 75 PNP personnel insofar as the security of the Vice President is concerned. Per record sa news na inalis sa BPSPG and then inilipat sa Manila.
Okay.
And I think the reason being is that may issue ng peace and security kung di ako nagkakamali. Yun po yung medyo nakikita naming security issues.
Now, if you know, no? Ilan ba yung natira sa Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group? If you know. Pagkatapos ma-remove yung sinasabi mong 75 personnel of that VP-SPG, if you know.
Well, based on, if I'm not mistaken, based on the record, the COA record, I think more or less 335 security personnel. Kung di ako nagkakamali, base doon sa
335 personnel protecting a single person, the Vice President?
Based on that record, Your Honor, based on the news, yeah.
335. Last point, Your Honor, please.
Wind up, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Witness, you mentioned earlier that your office considered in its investigation in the November 23, 2024 online briefing na aside kay respondent yung Vice Presidente tsaka yung mga media personalities, okay, na nabanggit mo, sino pa, kung meron pa, yung nandun sa online briefing na yon, kung alam mo?
Well, yung pinakaunang part ng video, si Attorney 𝗬𝗧𝗃𝗲𝗏.
Attorney 𝗬𝗧𝗃𝗲𝗏. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Witness, ano yung na-observe mo kung meron man, okay, about Attorney 𝗬𝗃𝗲𝗏 during that online media briefing?
Objection vague, Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor, what's vague? Okay.
Witness is smart enough to answer if he knows. Witness may answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, based on that video, it appears na nagko-complain si Attorney 𝗬𝗃𝗲𝗏, referring doon sa paglipat niya from HOR to women correction facilities, I think. And then yung health issue niya, so parang kinukomplain din niya na yun.
Okay.
At yung nangyari sa kanyang pagka-held in custody sa HOR.
All right. Now, Attorney Lotok, what significance, if any, do these complaints the Attorney Lopez have, okay, in your investigation on the threats made by the Vice President in that online media briefing?
Yes, Your Honor. We take that into account. Tinignan namin yung sitwasyon, yung issue ni Attorney 𝗬𝗃𝗲𝗏. But when we see the bigger picture, taking all the pieces of the puzzle, it has nothing to do with the Vice President contracting a person, because even before 𝗬𝗃𝗲𝗏 appeared in that video, the Vice President had already contracted a person to kill the President and Lisa Marcos and the former Speaker. And when we consider all the facts and circumstances, the instance where Attorney 𝗬𝗃𝗲𝗏 was complaining does not diminish, it does not alter, it does not affect the totality of the findings that we have in our investigation, sir.
Senator Judge, is counsel for the prosecutors done? Attorney Ligutan, are you done?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're done? Before cross-examination, Chair would like to recognize, with the permission of Senator Judge JV, Senator Judge 𝗏𝗏 Aquino had earlier sought recognition. Chair will recognize him first, thereafter Senator Judge 𝗭𝗶𝗶𝗏, thereafter Senator Judge 𝗏𝗏, and then Senator Judge 𝗭𝗶𝗏𝗏. Senator Judge Aquino is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Yes, maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotok,
Yes,
meron
po,
pa po bang ibang grupo sa NBI ang nag-imbestiga doon po sa mga utterances ni Vice President Sara Duterte noong November 23 to 24?
During our time, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, yung Cybercrime Division, Your Honor, and the team that was yung binuo ni former Judge, Director Judge.
So kayo lang po?
At that time, sir, hindi ko na po alam ngayon kung sino yung mga team na, kasi nalipat na po ako sa ibang region, sir.
Okay. Yung tanong ko po kasi ay nakatukoy dun sa taong nakausap o sinasabing na kontrata ni Vice President Sara Duterte para patayin yung Presidente, First Lady at former Speaker. So tinuloy niyo po ba yung investigasyon para mahanap ang taong ito?
Well, aside from the fact, Your Honor, na nag-issue kami ng subpoena sa Vice President para makakuha ng information, kasi we need a validated information, we need a confirmed information. Nung inisyuan namin ng subpoena yung mga media personalities, bawat isa sa kanila na nag-appear, tinanong din po namin, nandun ka ba nung sinabi ito ng Vice Presidente?
Hindi ko po tinatanong kung sinabi ba ito o hindi. Dahil may witness rin po tayo nung nakaraang linggo na nasabi nga ito at napanood naman ho natin po lahat. Ang tanong ko, tinuloy niyo ba yung investigasyon para matukoy ang taong ito?
Nagtanong kami, Your Honor. We tried to elicit information both from those people who have personal knowledge during the online press conference. Unfortunately, wala ako kaming ma-establish na validated information na confirmed. So, in fact, hanggang ngayon, nag-aantay po kami. Hindi ho katulad dito sa nangyari. May apparent commission of the crime dahil nandiyan yung video eh.
Opo. So ang ibig niyo pong sabihin, bilang NBI, hindi niyo nahanap yung taong ito, pero literal niyo tong, sabi niyo, literal itong pag-assess niyo dun sa statement dahil ito mismo yung nasabi ng Vice President.
Well, Your Honor, if the second highest official of the land sinabi yan, it's hindi ho biro yan. Medyo mabigat ho yan at yung pagkasabi pa niya na may kasamang galit at mga pagmumura. So we took it very serious, Your Honor.
All right, I have a question for the defense. Sa lahat ng mga sagot ninyo, Attorney Vinluan, parang hindi ko nakita na tinanggi ng inyong kliyente o ng depensa na may nakausap ang Vice Presidente na tao para gawin yung mga bagay na ito. Tama ba? Wala ito sa mga sagot ninyo?
We deny that, Your Honor.
You deny?
That is not accurate, Your Honor, and we will present evidence or counter evidence to prove
Okay,
that.
so let me clarify. Sa lahat ng sagot ninyo so far, hindi pa nyo tinatanggi ito, pero in your time presenting evidence, you will deny that there was a person contracted by the Vice President.
Your Honor, to clarify, I don't understand, Your Honor, when we were asked, but
In your
because
answer, you have an answer. There is an impeachment.
we
complaint.
denied it, Your Honor. We denied it in our answer, which we filed before the Senate Impeachment Court.
You denied it in your answer?
Correct, Your Honor.
If I remember correctly, ang nabanggit doon ay freedom of expression. Was there an exact statement there na hindi totoo na meron ngang kinontrata ang Vice Presidente o kinausap ang Vice Presidente para gawin ito?
We maintain our position that we denied it, Your Honor.
Okay.
It is there in our answer.
Mr. President, I don't want to take up time, but I do want to check the official records and look for this because I don't remember seeing that in any of your answers, Mr.
Your Honor, all allegations were denied.
It's a general denial, a blanket denial.
There were, that was the general denial, and there were also specific denials.
Okay, we'll take a look, Mr. Presiding Officer. Hanapin natin to with, and if I may come back to this once we take a look at the records, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The gentleman may do so at the appropriate time. With the permission of Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, since nakatayo na po si Senator Judge Ejercito, papaunahin ko na muna siya. Senator Judge Tulfo, Ejercito is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tanong ko lang, no, just to clarify, may we know if the NBI has the authority to issue subpoena against impeachable officials? Kasi kanina po, no, sa mga pinisend kanina, subpoena po ang inyong pinadala sa Vice President instead of a mere invitation. Yun lang po, i-clarify ko lang po.
Yes, Your Honor. Under Republic Act 10867, the NBI has authority to issue subpoena. And as a matter of fact, the case involving the Vice President falls under Section 5, Paragraph G, which the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigation, Your Honor.
Likewise, for the information may we know what constitutes a grave threat that will prompt the NBI to conduct an investigation as compared to a light threat? No, what are the elements that are needed to be present to be considered a grave threat?
Well, for grave threat, Your Honor, if naalala ko siya, if a person threatens another person with the infliction upon the latter's person, property, or honor, or that of the latter's family, with a wrong or with any wrong amounting to a crime, if that threat is with condition or without condition, or with involved with monetary consideration, yun po, Your Honor, yung kabuuan nung sa grave threat.
So yung grave threat po, may condition or wala condition?
The crime of grave threat, Your Honor, can be committed with or without condition.
With or without condition. Yeah. So as an investigator, have you ever investigated and filed a complaint for grave threats apart from this one?
Again, Your Honor,
As an investigator, have you filed any case or investigated and filed a case for grave threats against anyone aside from this, no? Excluding this one?
I think nag-start po kasi ako as counter-terrorism and then organized crime group and then cybercrime. Wala akong maalala, Your Honor, kundi ito lang. I mean, insofar as my being in the NBI is concerned, Your Honor.
So ito lamang yung ito pala yung kaso na naimbestigahan nyo concerning grave threats, you know?
I think yung iba, may mga naimbestigahan, Your Honor. Pero again, sabi ko, yung sa sarili ko po, yung experience ko from counter-terrorism hanggang sa organized transnational crime group, hanggang sa cybercrime division, ang naalala ko lang, Your Honor, kasi matagal na ho yun kung ano yung nasa record. I think itong grave threats na to is pag hindi first time, doon ko lang na-experience.
Gaano katagal ho kayong parte nitong cybercrime division bago kayo nalipat?
Since 2018, Your Honor. Nagsimula ho ako bilang investigation agent. And then 2022, I was designated as chief of the Digital Forensic Laboratory Division, and in 2023, designated as chief of the Cybercrime Division, sir.
So more than 5 years kayong nandito sa Cybercrime Division ng NBI?
Opo.
That's all, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Echitoh. Senator Judge 𝗏𝗏𝗰𝗶 is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President or Presiding Officer. I'd like to direct my clarificatory question to the witness on the stand, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Jeremy Lontok.
Opo, Your Honor.
What findings, if any, convince the NBI the motive of the respondent to kill the president and 2 other people? Meron po bang kayong nakitang motibo? Kasi maaari pong sabihin lang nung isang tao sa sobrang galit niya, na pag-usapan na po kanina yan, di ba? Spur of the moment. Pero did you find any motive? Bakit niya po gagawing patayin ang Pangulo?
Yes, Your Honor. As I've said before, when we take into consideration all the facts and circumstances surrounding that issue, nagkaroon ng hindi magandang relasyon yung dalawa, and then nagbato na ang Vice Presidente ng mga salitang mabibigat laban sa Presidente. Pinapakita doon sa October 18 na toxic na nga yung relationship nila. Galit na galit si Sara dahil sinasabi ng Vice Presidente is politically motivated yung pag-attack sa kanya, and then at the same time pinagtutulungan siya ng buong gobyerno. So then na-trigger ho yun, if my memory serves me right, nung incident nangyari noong 23 November 2024. So parang nagpatong-patong na ho siya, convolution ng iba't ibang issue. So nakita ho namin talagang galit ang Vice Presidente sa Presidente.
Okay. So you saw that the Vice President is very angry, right? Galit po siya. Did the investigation uncover any evidence, if there's any, that the